permanent magnet moving coil, then Mi type means moving iron type, electro dynamometer types. Okay, so different types of electromechanical instruments are going to be discussed. First, we will discuss about the basic purpose of that instrument, of such type of instrument, then how it will work, then constructional features, okay, and why is it important. So basically, when we will start the any of the classes or any of the conversation, we need to know first what, why, and how. Okay. So first we need to know about what is electromechanical instruments. So as per the name of that topic, so you can understand that electromechanical means that instrument is related to the electrical energy as well as the mechanical structure. Means that all are the examples of the analog instruments. Means that there is some mechanical structures. If you give some electrical input, definitely it will give you some of the output. That may be the deflection of the pointer. Okay, so all the cases you can find out that electrical quantities. Okay, that means after deflection of the pointer, you may calculate the current, you may calculate the voltage. If it is voltmeter, so definitely it deflections, the pointer deflection in terms of voltage. If it is ammeter, so the pointer deflection in terms of current, and if it is wattmeter, definitely the pointer deflection in terms of power. That means wattage, that means power. So active power normally we are going to measure. Okay, it may be the it may be the energy, but in case of energy meter we are not using the pointer. There is some aluminum discs. Okay, so after movement of the discs, we can note down the reading of that instruments. Okay, so how much unit you have consumed from your domestic application, maybe industrial application. Okay, so as per our application, we have categorized different instrumentation. So I have already discussed about the basic calibration method. So why the calibrations are important. So I can understand that all of you have good amount of idea about the calibration method and why it is important. So all the cases, first we are designing that instrument, then definitely it will be calibrated, okay, with the standard instrumentation, and we can manufacture it for the public uses. Okay, so what is electromechanical instrument? I have given the discussions, I have already discussed it. Then why? Definitely it's also been discussed for measuring the electrical quantities, and how. So then how portion is most important, how it will be designed, how it will be working. Okay, so one by one gradually I am coming. First, we will start with PMMC, means permanent magnet moving coil, then moving iron, then electrodynamometer type instruments. Okay, then it may be the rectifier. Okay, so different instruments are still there. Okay, so one by one I am coming. Okay, so first, what is the outcome of this presentation? That at the end of this chapter, students should be able to know the understand the construction and the operations of the permanent magnet moving coil instruments, describe how the PMMC instrument are used as a galvanometer, DC ammeter, DC voltmeter, AC ammeter, and AC voltmeter. Normally, PMMC instruments are used to measure the DC electrical quantities, means electrical voltage. Okay, voltage and currents. Okay, sometimes but in case of AC, definitely it also be possible. So whatever you need to change, okay, you need to convert that AC to DC. After that you can measure it. Okay, so normally for the measurement of AC, we are much more depends upon the MI type instruments, means moving iron type instruments. Okay, so in case of introduction, so first we need to know about the PMMC. The PMMC instrument consists of basically a light-weighted coil of the copper wire suspended in the field of a permanent magnet. Okay, so you can understand that there is a permanent magnet. It's always present over there, and the one ferromagnetic, that is called fins. Okay, that means the ferromagnetic path is there that contains of the a lot of copper wires. Okay, so what happens, that permanent magnet is still there if the current is flowing through the copper wire, and that is wounded over the ferromagnetic film. Okay, then what happen? The deflections of magnetic interaction will be there in between the permanent magnet and the films of that aluminum films, you can say like that, with the copper one. Okay, so due to the interactions of the magnetic, so the pointer will be deflected as per your design value. Okay, so definitely there is a there is a options for the calibrations. Okay, without calibration definitely it will not show the exact value. Okay, so first you have to design the instrument, then you have to calibrate with the standard instrumentation. So current in the wire cause the coil to produce a magnetic field that interact with the field from the magnet, that is permanent magnet, resulting in partial rotations of the coil. Okay, so a pointer connected to the coil deflects over a calibrated scale, indicating the level of the current flowing in the wire. So you know from the name that permanent magnet moving coil. So in that instrument, one permanent magnet definitely present over there. Okay, that's a permanent magnet. Another one is called moving coil. That means permanent magnet is the fixed one, but moving coil is not the fixed one. As per the current carrying by that coil, the moving coil is changing its position. That means it is deflecting in between the magnetic interactions of the permanent magnet and moving coil. Okay, so what happens if you connect one pointer with that moving coil? So pointer will be deflecting or pointer will be moving. So what happens? You can get one scale. Okay, that scale definitely calibrated with the maybe primary standard instrument, maybe secondary standard instrument, and as per the calibration, what happens? You are able to get that value. So how much deflection is done by this instrument? Okay, it may be voltage, it may be current. Okay, that's why the PMMC instrument is usually a low level DC ammeter. Okay, so not like only ammeter, it is also implementable also as a voltmeter. Okay, so from this diagram you can know how it is work. Okay, so first as per the picture, I think you are able to understand its working principle. Okay, so first you can see over there on two permanent magnet, that is your N, another one is your S. Okay, so two permanent magnet is there, that is S, another one is your N. Okay, so N, S is there, so this is your permanent magnet, and due to the presence of these permanent magnets, so lines of force definitely they are from north pole to south pole. Okay, and you can see like that this coil. Okay, so this coil is your what? This is your moving coil. Okay, like your DC motor applications, like your DC motor operating principle. Okay, so then what happens if the flux line is flowing from N to S? So there is a permanent flux line. Okay, so now what happens? One film is there, that is that aluminum films is there. Okay, so one copper winding, it is simplex winding, so copper winding is connected, not connected, it is wounded over the aluminum films. Okay, then what happened? Now you can see that current is flowing. Okay, current is flowing inside of the copper wire. So what the current is flowing? So what will be the flux distribution? By using right hand thumb rule. So if it is if that pointer is pointing the thumb of your right hand. Okay, so if the pointer, 1 minute, so am I visible from your side?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes,
just check my hand. So okay, so you can see that on my thumb. Okay, so my thumb is pointing out the direction of the current. Okay, so that current is flowing. Okay, so that current is flowing to the copper path. Okay, that copper path is there. This yellow color, it is your copper path. Okay, so current is flowing like that. So what will be your flux distribution line? Definitely it will be in what? It is coming upward, means it will be surrounded like what? Anti-clockwise or clockwise? Pointing out upward means if you say like that, it is pointing out your side, so definitely it will be anti-clockwise distribution of the flux. Okay, so current is upper tip, so flux will be distributed such a manner. Okay, So similar thing also happened nearer conductor of that S pole. So in that case you can see like that current is coming downward. So what will be the flux distribution? So flux distribution will be like that. So you can say like that the flux will be distributed into clockwise manner. Okay. So here it is your anti-clockwise manner and the clockwise manner. Okay. Then you can see like that one pointer. It is your pivot dual bearing actually, that this is pin tip and this is pin tip, not like pin, very nail tip bearing. Okay, so it will be connected with the pivot bearing dual pivot bearing. So it is connected to the you may say shaft. Okay, it's the shaft or main structure. It will provide you the main mechanical strength of that coil. Okay, and your pointer is connected with this main shaft. Okay, so one spring is there. One spring should be connected with the upper side, and another spring is there. That is connected in the lower side. So that so you can observe that if the current strength of this fixed, but if the current of this copper path, definitely if you change the input variac, okay, definitely the current will be changed. Okay, so if the current strength has changed, definitely the power distribution strength also will change. Okay, so interaction in this moving coil copper path and the main fixed coil. So definitely there is a torque. Okay, that torque will be developed for what? Because you can say like that in this diagram, N to S, the flux line is flowing, so current is flowing over there. So you can see this diagram, one diagram also be there. Okay, so here you can observe that one. So if you see, it is coming upward. Okay, so dot means it is coming upward, and cross means it is going to inward. Okay, inside, and it is the north pole, it is south pole. Then what happened? Normally the flux line is first state forward to see the flux anti-clockwise distribution is there. So here the direction of the flux of this copper path is similar to the direction of the main field flux, but in this portion here you can see like that the direction of the main field flux is this side. Okay, that means horizontal, but the direction of the flux of the copper is countering the main field flux. So what happened in this position? There is a flux cancellations of the main field flux and the copper field and the copper conductor flux. But here you can see it is flux is concentrated because all are in the same direction. The reverse thing also been observed in the another conductor. So another copper conductor is there. So dot, this is cross and this is your dot. So due to cross means what? It is coming inside. Coming inside is clockwise distribution. Okay, so clockwise distribution like that manner. Okay, if it is the clockwise distribution, so what happens? So you can see the flux distribution line. Okay, so reversing here you can see there is a this density of the flux is too high. Similar kinds of thing here, the main field flux line and the flux line due to the copper conductor is same, but that means same direction. Here you can see it is countering, means opposite direction of your main field flux. So they are countering each other and cancelled out. So you can say like that. Here all the flux distributions, all flux line are concentrated in this position. Okay, and here you can see all the flux line are concentrated in this position. So what happened? The concentration is lesser, any flux density is lesser in this positions and this position. So whatever the torque, the conductor will face the torque from high density of the flux line to low density of the flux line. So if you realize the diagram, okay, so what happened? So that that copper conductors is face some of the force to moving from the lower density, moving from higher density flux side to lower density flux side. So for north pole side conductor, it is coming from lower end to upper end, or south pole side conductor, it is faced from upper end to lower end. So it will rotate such a manner. Okay. So it will rotate such a manner. Okay. So that's the basic motivations for rotations of the moving coil. And if you able to connect one pointer, okay, that moving coil, here it is your moving coil, okay, it is your aluminum film, and that straight line, you can say like that, it is your conductors, okay, copper conductor, and it's your spring, upper side spring, it is your coil, and this red color portion, you can say like that, flux line. Okay, if you connect the one pointer to the moving coil, so that pointer will be deflected in the upper side of the scale. So the reading of the scale will be decided by the mathematical calculations, means the relations, the imperial or the mathematical relations in between the current or the voltage that is passing through that conductors, okay, current and the deflections of the pointer. Okay, so normally what is observed in case PMMC, that the flux distributions, sorry, that the current is directly proportional to the scaling. That means the scale, you can say like that, the deflections is directly proportional to the current. Okay, so what happened, what is observed in case of PMMC, the scale is in linear distributed. Okay, so the linear variations, if the linear variations of current is there, definitely the linear variations of the deflection of pointer is observed. Okay, so that's why in PMMC there is no nonlinear scaling you can observe in that instrument. So same thing you can also see in this figure. So there is your pointer. Okay, so pointer is equally distributed, and sorry, the scaling is the scale that the unit of the scales are uniformly distributed, and you can observe that pointer, it is your pointer and it is your aluminum film. Okay, so conductor from the aluminum film, that is coming upward and that is coming downward. So these all are the coil, and it is your north pole and south pole. The spring is there for giving you the controlling force. Okay, and the current carrying coils, that line, straight lines are is your current carrying coil, and it is a soft iron core. Okay, soft iron, what type of core? Laminated core. If the lamination is not there, then the cross sectional current will be flowing through that aluminum film or maybe the soft iron film. So that may cause for unwanted hysteresis loss. Okay, all the cases for PMMC and the moving coil, all the cases the laminated core normally we are using. Okay, till now is there any confusion? Is there any confusion till now? Am I audible from your side?
Sir, I think your network is slow.
What happened?
Sir, I think your
Sir, I
network
think
is
your
slow.
network is slow.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so am I audible right now?
Sir, you're audible, but you're lagging, sir. There is a lag in the audio.
Okay, okay. That may be cause for that. Actually, camera I just made turned on, so that may cause for some of the network lagging. Okay, so I think you all of you are able to understand that basic operations of that PMMC. So here you can observe, you can see like that. It is your, okay, so here you can observe that
Sir,
Rn is
screen
what?
is not
Rn is
visible.
the, what happened?
The screen
Slide
is
is
not visible.
visible. It is showing
No, no,
No,
that
sir,
sir.
we
screen
can't
is
see your screen.
properly shared.
In camera work.
Sir, try once again.
Hmm. My slide is visible from your side.
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Yes or no? Is it visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Is it visible right now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, just wait. Is it visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
But it is showing that on my computer,
Sir.
and it is also showing that red color cover. That means my screen is properly shared. I think so. Okay, so just let wait. So you can get it from the video. That means recorded video also. That actually it is record. The recording is going on. So here you can observe that in introductory part that one you can observe that RM. What do you mean by this RM? RM means it is the internal resistance of the measuring instrument. So VN means what? Measured voltage. You are going to be measured the voltage that is applied to the circuit. Okay. So and RSH means it is shunt resistance. So why is it important? Because all the measuring instrument having some internal resistance. Because ideally it should not be there. But in practical cases, what happens? Some of the internal resistance definitely present in the at the time of designing of the instruments. Okay, so if that VM is connected over there, okay, so current will be flowing through this entire path. So RSH means the shunt resistance is connected the parallel to your main instrument. That means it is low resistance path. If high current is flowing, is as the instant has coming that high current is try to flow to the measuring instrument, so that may damage the instrument. So normally we are using additional shunt resistance path, so the additional current can flow through this path. Okay, so here Vm is the source, I is the total current, two path is there, one path of the current is flowing through the instrument that is through the RM, and it will be pointing out the deflections. Okay, the pointer of the instrument showing you the deflections. As per the deflection you can measure the quantity. Okay, if it is connected in parallel, definitely it will, you can connect the voltage. Okay, you can calculate, you can get the amount of voltage. And RSH means shunt part is there, means what happens, it is if the additional current, if the VM value of the magnitude, voltage magnitude is high, so additional current where it will be flow, because you have to at any cost you have to maintain IM fixed. Okay, so IM fixed means if it reach the maximum amount of current, then it should be fixed. Okay, if it is not coming the up to maximum current, definitely there is no option for fixing up. Okay, so what happens then, if it is beyond the range of IM, then additional current will be flow through the path of ISH. Okay, that's why it is written like that. It can be employed to measure wide range of direct current DC level with the use of parallel connected resistor. Okay, so that is the basic fundamental importance of RSH, means resistance of the shunt field. So here you can also see that instrument may also be used for as a DC voltmeter by connecting appropriate values of resistance in series with the coil. So when you are connecting a voltage source directly, connecting one measuring instrument, PMMC instrument directly series with the voltage source, definitely there is a options for if you increase the magnitude of the input voltage or the measured voltage, then what happens, because the internal resistance of that internal resistance of the measuring instrument is fixed. If you increase the voltage value, input voltage value, then what problem you can observe that due to the fixing of the RL, so higher current can flow through that instrument. Okay, so that may cause for what? That may cause for the additional power loss inside of the instrument, and that may damage, that can damage the instrument. So what happened? You need to include one additional resistance, that is called RS. Okay, series with this RN. That means series with this measuring instrument. Okay, so that's the basic importance. Previous one basically based on for that voltmeter. Now we can say like that it is connected as a ammeter, because normally what happen, ammeter connected in series and voltmeter normally connected in parallel. Okay, so that's the basic important features. After that, you can see it is an ohm meter. In ohm meter, what happen? So ohm meter can make the precision register. Okay, so I have already discussed about the definition of the precision. Okay, so precision resistor and PMMC instrument and the battery. Next, when you are going to measure the resistance, so there are different several methods: direct method, indirect method. In indirect and sometimes comparative method we are also using. So if we have the some standard resistance with your instrument, then what happen? You are going to measure some unknown resistance. Now you can change that value of that resistance path by using the pot. Okay, so that's why one slider is there. So a slider, this is called slider, means variable resistance, one fixed resistance. So pot is there. So when and you are make such a configuration that the voltage drop across the resistor and the battery should be same. When the unknown values, if this X portion means you are going to
Sir,
calculate the unknown values of the resistance. Okay, so total drop will be there, and that if you compare the entire drop with this meter and this potentiometer and the entire path, then if the null detection is there through this resistance meter, you can say like that the equivalent values of the resistance of X. So I
Sir,
am coming another chapter. So for measuring of the ohm, that means the unknown resistance. What are the different methods? What are the different methods for measuring the low resistance, medium resistance, high resistance? That will coming later. But in this circuit, you are trying to be understand because you are using some standard EMF source for balancing the both of the means unknown resistance path and the known resistance path, and you are using one null detecting null detecting meter, so that will detect only the zero error conditions. Means if the standard energy source means standard energy storing source and the measure source both, that means and the measure source both are same, that means both are equal potential, definitely it will give you the zero value. And if it is giving you the zero value, then you can find out the actual values of the resistance through indirect method, means through calculative method. Okay, so here you can observe another some structures that is called the multi-range meter are available, that combine ammeter, voltmeter, ohm meter. Okay, so you can see like that one pointer is connected here, the standard measuring voltage will be connected. It is plus and minus. If you change that pointer from 3 volt, 10 volt, 30 volt, all the cases there are different values of resistance. All the cases the meter is showing you the null values. Okay, null pointer detection. If it is equate, if that voltage is balanced with this all the voltage, so you are able to measure the actual values of the resistance, sometimes actual values of the EMF. Okay, so that's why it is called multi-range voltmeter. So in case of voltmeter, definitely meter will be connected. The additional resistance is connected with the parallel shunt path you can observe, and it is your multi-range ammeter. Okay, in all the cases you can connect the entire system, entire meter. Is just one moment.
sir,
All the cases you can measure the values of the resistance. Sometimes it may be the ammeter, sometimes it may be the voltmeter. Okay, but it having some internal resistance. By balancing of this resistance, sometimes we are connected the series resistance with that meter, sometimes we are connected with the parallel resistance with that meter for protection of that that means measuring instruments. Okay, so these all are the basic structures of the multimeters, maybe in the voltage measurement mode, maybe the current measurement mode. Okay, so now you can ask me the question. So what you are going to ask me, you can ask me.
Sir, the screen is not visible.
Okay, no matter. So actually what happened, it is recorded, okay, till now. So you can actually it is I have shared the scheme, okay, but unfortunately due to some network connectivity, maybe it is not visible from your side.